Rain beat against the cracked windshield, each drop echoing like a countdown. My chest ached, my hands trembled against the steering wheel. Clara stood outside the Jeep, her hair soaked, her eyes empty. Noah's flashlight cut through the storm, landing on me like a spotlight before death. "Clara!" I called, my voice raw. "Help me get the engine running. We can still make it to the outpost before sunrise." She didn't move. Noah's voice came instead, sharp and cold. "It's over, Ethan. The deal went bad. The people coming for us don't leave survivors." "I know," I said. "That's why we have to go. I've got the evidence. We can clear our names," Noah laughed. "You think anyone cares about your name now?" He threw the flashlight onto the hood. "You're finished." Clara flinched at his tone, but she didn't stop him. Her silence hurt more than the blood dripping from my forehead. "Clara," I whispered. "You're not seriously going with him, right?" Her eyes met mine, and for a second I saw the woman I loved, trembling, guilty, human. Then she blinked and she was gone. "I'm sorry, Ethan," she said, voice trembling. "You'll survive if you're strong enough." What the hell does that mean? I pushed the door open, stumbling out into the mud. "You can't just leave me here." "We started this together." Noah stepped between us. "We started it, sure. But you ruined it when you decided to play hero. You should have taken the money and kept your mouth shut." Lightning split the sky, illuminating his smirk. My stomach twisted. "You set me up," I said quietly. "Both of you," Noah shrugged. "Don't take it personally. You were just the easiest to blame." I turned to Clara. "Tell me that's not true. Tell me this isn't who you are." Her lip trembled, but she didn't speak. She just stared at the briefcase in Noah's hand, the one that held everything we'd worked for, everything we'd risked. I felt something break inside me. "You could have told me," I said softly. "I would have walked away. I would have forgiven you." She shook her head. "No, you wouldn't have." "Try me," Noah groaned. "Enough." He grabbed her arm. "We don't have time for this drama. They'll be here any minute." I took a step forward, fists clenched. "Touch her again and what?" Noah sneered. "You're half dead. Look at yourself, Ethan. You can't even stand straight." He was right. My knees buckled, the world spinning, but I still looked at her. "Clara, please." "Don't let him do this." She looked away. "I can't go back with nothing." "You don't understand." "I understand perfectly," I spat. "You're choosing greed over loyalty. That's not survival, that's cowardice." Her jaw tightened. "You think love fills stomachs? Love doesn't save lives. Money does." "That's what he told you," I said, glaring at Noah. "He's using you." Noah smirked. "Maybe, but at least I'm honest about it." The rain grew heavier, blurring my vision. "Clara," I whispered again. "If you walk away now, there's no coming back." She took a step back, then another. My heart pounded louder than the thunder. "Goodbye, Ethan," she said finally. "I hope someday you'll understand." "Understand?" My voice cracked. "You're leaving me to die." Noah turned, his face expressionless. "You'll survive if you're strong enough," he said, mocking her words. Then they climbed into the Jeep. The headlights flared for a moment, blinding me, before disappearing into the storm. I stood there, soaked, frozen, staring at the red glow fading between the trees. My body screamed in pain, but it couldn't match the silence that followed. I stumbled toward the tracks they left, my boots sinking into the mud. "Clara!" I shouted, my voice lost in the storm. "Don't do this!" Only thunder answered. I fell to my knees, hands sinking into the wet ground. The jungle around me felt alive, whispering, mocking. Every breath hurt. Every second reminded me that I had trusted the wrong people. For a long time, I stayed there, listening to the rain. My chest burned with rage, confusion, grief. Somewhere in the distance, gunshots echoed, faint but real. Maybe they found her. Maybe karma worked faster than I thought, but I didn't move. A whisper escaped my lips. "You'll survive if you're strong enough." I repeated her words until they stopped hurting. When the storm quieted, I crawled beneath a broken branch and leaned against a tree. My blood mixed with the mud beneath me. I wanted to sleep, but I couldn't. Not yet. I looked at my shaking hands, the same hands that once held hers. "You took everything," I murmured to the darkness. "But I'll take it back. Every lie, every scar, I'll make them remember me." The jungle hummed back in silence, as if it had heard my promise. And in that silence, something inside me shifted. The man who believed in love, trust, and loyalty He died that night. Beneath the rain and betrayal, all that was left was me, cold, alive, and ready to survive. The world came back in fragments, rain, pain, and a ceiling made of canvas. My throat burned when I tried to speak. "Easy," a soft voice said. "You're safe now." I blinked through the blur. A girl sat beside me, her hands wrapped around a bowl of water. "Who are you?" "My name's Ava," she said, dipping a cloth and pressing it to my forehead. "You've been out for 3 days. We found you near the riverbank." "We?" My voice cracked. "My father and I, he's a doctor. You're lucky we came across you when we did." I tried to sit up, but pain ripped through my ribs. "I don't feel lucky," she smiled faintly. "You're alive. That counts for something. Alive." The word felt heavy. I looked down at my bandaged hands, shaking, bruised, useless. "Where am I?" "Forest Medical Camp," she said. "We help travelers, locals, anyone who needs it." "What happened to you?" My chest tightened. I saw Clara's face flash through my mind, her voice in the rain, her eyes turning away. "An accident," I said quickly. "Nothing important," Ava tilted her head. "You call nearly dying nothing important?" "I've had worse," I muttered. She studied me quietly, then stood. "You don't have to tell me, but the truth has a way of finding its way out." I turned away, staring at the flap of the tent. Outside, I heard voices. Her father's, maybe, the rustle of trees, the faint hum of life. Everything sounded too alive, too distant from what I felt. Later, she brought soup. The smell made my stomach twist. "Eat," she said, placing it near me. "I'm not hungry. You haven't eaten in days." I said I'm fine. She crossed her arms. "You're not. You talk like someone who's given up." I met her gaze. "Maybe I have." Ava didn't flinch. "Then why are you still breathing?" I had no answer. The question hung between us, heavier than the air itself. She sighed and sat beside the cot. "My father says the ones who survive near death always come back with 2 choices, live for something or die slower every day." I stared at the soup, the steam fogging my vision. "I don't have anything left to live for." "Everyone says that," she murmured. "Until they do." Silence stretched. Somewhere outside, I heard her father's voice. "Ava, check the supplies!" She called back, "In a minute," and turned to me again. "What's your name?" "Ethan," I said after a pause. It felt strange to say it, like the name belonged to someone else. "Well, Ethan, you've got a second chance. Don't waste it hiding from the first one," I laughed bitterly. "You don't even know me." "I don't need to. I can see it in your eyes." "What do you see?" "Guilt," she said softly. "And anger. But also something else. You're still fighting it." "I'm not fighting," I said, my voice low. "I'm just waiting for the pain to stop." Ava leaned closer. "It won't. But it'll get quieter when you stop running from it." Her words cut deeper than any wound. I closed my eyes, pretending not to hear her. But she stayed there, quiet, patient, the way light stays even when you turn away. That night, I woke to the sound of thunder again. My heart raced as if I were back in the jungle. I saw Clara's face, Noah's smirk, the headlights fading. I gasped for air, clutching my chest. Ava rushed in, holding a lantern. "Ethan, what's wrong?" "Nightmare," I said, breathless. "Just a nightmare." She sat beside me. "You were calling a name." "Clara?" I froze. "You must have misheard." "No," she said gently. "You said it like someone you lost." "She's not lost," I whispered. She walked away. Ava's eyes softened. "And you're still chasing her shadow." I turned away. "I don't need pity. You don't have it. Just observation," I almost smiled. "You talk too much for a stranger," she shrugged. "Maybe you needed someone too." The lantern light flickered across her face. For a moment I saw warmth, something I thought I'd forgotten. "Why help me?" I asked quietly. "Because you remind me of someone who once forgot how to live," she said, and I promised myself I wouldn't let that happen again. "Who?" "My brother," she said, looking down. "He died saving someone who didn't deserve it. Sometimes I wonder if kindness is a curse." Her words lingered in the air. I understood too well. Before leaving, she added, "Sleep. Tomorrow, we change your bandages. Maybe you'll tell me the real story then." When she left, I lay staring at the flickering light above me. Her voice echoed in my mind. Don't waste it hiding, but how could I tell her the truth? That the woman I loved left me to die? That I still wanted to live just long enough to make her regret it? The storm outside softened to a drizzle. I closed my eyes, whispering, "I'm not alive." Not yet. The days blurred into each other. My legs ached every time I tried to stand, but Ava wouldn't let me quit. "Again," she said, holding my arm. "You won't heal by staring at the ground." "I'm not healing," I muttered, taking another shaky step. "I'm just learning how to fall slower." "You're learning how to rise," she said. Big difference. I wanted to believe her, but hope felt like a word for other people. The pain in my ribs was easier to trust than promises. Weeks passed. I chopped wood, carried water, helped her father treat travelers. The quiet of the jungle had its own rhythm, one that didn't ask questions. But every night, Clara's face haunted me. Her laughter. Her betrayal. One morning, Ava brought a folded newspaper into the tent. "You should see this," she said carefully. "I don't read the news," I replied. "You might want to." I took it from her. The headline hit me like a knife. "Local man disappears after robbery, believed dead or in hiding." Below it, my photo. My name, Ethan Cole. My hands trembled. "Who told them this?" She hesitated. "It says a woman named Clara Evans and a witness, Noah Bennett." The air left my lungs. "They said I stole the money?" Ava nodded. "I'm sorry. I didn't know," I laughed, low and bitter. "Of course they did. Why ruin their story with the truth?" She reached for my hand. "You can tell the world what really happened." "Who would believe me?" I asked. "The man who crawled out of a jungle after 3 days? The one everyone already buried in their minds?" She didn't answer. She didn't need to. I already knew. That night I walked outside. The jungle hummed with life, but I felt none of it. I thought of my mother, how she used to wait for me on the porch, humming old songs. I hadn't called her in months before that trip. My chest tightened. Ava came up behind me quietly. "You miss her?" "I don't even know if she's still alive," I said. "She must have seen the news by now." She hesitated. "Ethan, there's something else." "I checked today's broadcast while you were working." I turned to her. "What is it?" Her eyes lowered. "Your mother, Helen Cole. She passed away 2 weeks ago." The words didn't hit me all at once. They sank in slowly like poison. "No," I whispered. "She can't be. She was healthy." "She waited for you," Ava said gently. That's all they said. I sank to my knees. She died thinking I ran away. Thinking I was a thief. Ava knelt beside me, her hand resting on my shoulder. "You can still honor her. You can still make it right." "How?" I asked, voice shaking. "By pretending to move on?" "No," she said firmly. "By becoming someone who deserves peace." I laughed bitterly. "Peace? That's for the innocent." She looked at me for a long time before saying, "Then stop being the ghost they made you. Be someone new." Her words stayed in my head long after she left. Someone new. The next morning, I stood before a cracked mirror in the camp. My beard was thick, my eyes hollow. I barely recognized the man staring back. "Ethan Cole died in that jungle," I whispered to the reflection. "He trusted too much. He loved too deeply. He forgave too easily." Ava appeared at the door. "Who's talking in here?" I turned to her. "No one you'd recognize," she frowned. "You're scaring me." "I'm not him anymore, Ava," I said quietly. "I can't be. Then who are you?" I looked at the bandages on my hands, symbols of every wound, every lie, every piece of me that refused to die. "Ethan Ross," I said finally. "The man who won't stay buried." She studied me for a moment. "Ethan Ross, huh? Sounds colder." "Colder's what I need to survive." "Just don't lose the part that's still human," she said softly. "Maybe that part already died with my mother." Ava shook her head. "No, it's still there. You're just hiding it behind anger." I didn't answer. Instead, I walked past her toward the forest. The wind felt different that morning. Sharper, heavier, like it carried something sacred and cruel. When I reached the riverbank, I took the newspaper from my pocket and set it on the water. The ink bled instantly, the headline vanishing. "Goodbye, Mom," I whispered. "Your son didn't run. He just got lost." The paper drifted away, disappearing under the current. I watched until it was gone. When I turned back, Ava stood in the distance, watching me with quiet eyes. "Where will you go?" she asked. "I don't know," I said. "But wherever it is, I won't be the same man anymore." She nodded slowly. Then promise me one thing. What? Don't lose yourself in revenge. I gave a faint smile. I already lost myself in love. Revenge might be the only way to find what's left. She didn't argue. She just whispered, "Then I hope you find something worth saving." I didn't look back. I couldn't. The jungle had buried one version of me. Another one walked out that day, 5 years. That's how long it took me to erase Ethan Cole from every record that mattered. Still staring at that skyline? Oliver asked beside me. You look like a man watching ghosts. I am, I said quietly. This city buried me once. I'm just here to return the favor. He smirked. I've missed your dramatic lines. You sure you're ready for this? Ready, I said. I was born again for this. We stood in the glass office of our new building, Ross Dynamics. My name sat on the sign like a scar that never healed. Oliver leaned against the desk. You could have picked any name. Why keep Ross? To remind myself, I said, of what I lost, of what I became. He sighed. You really think going after Liam Ross is worth it? He's a ghost in his own castle, married to the woman you once... Don't, I cut in sharply. Don't say her name, Oliver raised his hands. All right, but you'll have to face her eventually. I know. I walked to the window, and when I do, I won't be the man she remembers. He chuckled lightly. You think she'll recognize you? No, I said. But she'll feel me, the same way I felt her betrayal. He studied me quietly. You've changed, Ethan. That's the point. The phone on my desk buzzed. Oliver answered, then turned to me. Courier just dropped today's paper. You might want to see it. He tossed it over. My eyes caught the headline before I could stop myself. Clara Evans Ross, Philanthropist of the Year. Her photo smiled up at me. Elegant, perfect, untouchable. The same smile she wore the night she left me to die, Oliver whistled. She looks good for someone who buried a man alive. I stared at the picture. You ever wonder what kind of person can smile like that after destroying someone? Yeah, he said. Usually the rich ones. I almost laughed, but the sound died in my throat. The jungle didn't kill me, I said softly. Her memory almost did. Oliver stepped closer. So what's the plan? You gonna walk into their world like nothing happened? I already have, I said. Liam's company is bleeding cash. We've been buying his debts for months. He just doesn't know it's me yet. He nodded slowly. And when he does, then the game begins. Oliver grinned. You always did love dramatic revenge arcs. I met his eyes. This isn't drama. It's justice, he folded his arms. Justice or obsession? Maybe both, I admitted. But I owe them more than forgiveness. He looked at me for a long moment. You know what I think? No, I said. But I'm sure you'll tell me anyway, he smirked. You're not coming back for revenge, Ethan. You're coming back for closure. Closure doesn't wear a wedding ring, I said. It bleeds when you take it off, he chuckled darkly. Still poetic after all these years. Poetry's just pain that learned how to talk, I said. The office fell silent. The hum of the city below reminded me how alive everything felt, how much I'd missed that sound. Oliver broke the silence. So what's next? We expand, I said. We get into real estate, logistics, finance. Everything Liam built his name on, I'll build better. And Clara? I looked back at the paper. She'll see my name everywhere. Every contract, every deal, every whisper. She'll feel my presence before she ever sees my face. He nodded slowly. You've really thought this through. 5 years in exile gives you plenty of time to think. Oliver leaned forward. And if revenge doesn't fix what they broke, then I'll keep breaking until I find peace, I said flatly. He exhaled. You're a scary man now, Ethan Ross. No, I said quietly. I'm just a man who stopped pretending to be good. He laughed softly. Fair enough. I walked to the mirror behind my desk. The reflection staring back wasn't the broken boy who once begged for love. My jaw was harder, my eyes colder. Oliver joined me. You know, if your mother saw you now, don't, I said, voice tight. She died believing I was innocent. I'll make sure the world believes it too, he nodded. Then let's build that empire. I smiled faintly. An empire out of ashes, Oliver smirked. That's the only kind that lasts. I looked back at the city, the skyline sharp against the dying light. Somewhere out there, Clara and Liam were living their perfect lie, not for long. Time to return the favor. I whispered. The moment I stepped into the ballroom, silence followed me like a shadow. The chandeliers glittered, violins hummed, and people wore masks made of money and manners. But my eyes, they searched for one ghost only. "Big night," Oliver murmured beside me. "You sure you're ready for this?" "I've been ready for 5 years," I said, straightening my tie. "Let's see if she still remembers the man she left to die," he chuckled. "Try not to bleed all over the champagne." "I'll save the blood for later," I said. As we moved through the crowd, cameras flashed. My company's name was on everyone's lips now, Ross Innovations, the new empire in town. Funny how quickly people forget the fallen. And then she appeared. Clara Ross. Her silver gown caught the light like Betrayal reborn. Her laughter froze when her eyes met mine. Time stopped. "Ethan?" The word left her lips like a secret escaping prison. I smiled slowly. "Mrs. Ross," I said evenly. "It's been a while." She blinked rapidly, her hand trembling around the glass. "It can't be. Oh, I assure you it's me," I said softly. Alive, inconveniently for some. Liam Ross turned at her side, oblivious to the storm. "Clara, everything all right?" She forced a smile. "Yes, of course." He looked at me and extended a hand. "And you are?" "Ethan Ross," I said, taking his hand firmly. "CEO of Ross Innovations," he grinned. "Ah, the new competitor. I've heard your name everywhere." "Impressive rise. Just hard work," I said. "And survival." Clara's eyes darted between us, panic hiding behind politeness. Oliver joined us. "Mr. and Mrs. Ross, pleasure meeting you both," Liam chuckled. "Competitors and charmers. Dangerous mix." I raised my glass. To healthy competition, our glasses clinked. Hers shook. The sound was music to me. "Ethan," she whispered when Liam turned away. "I thought you were dead?" I said quietly. "So did I." Her eyes filled with tears she tried to hide behind her smile. "Please not here." "Relax," I said, my tone smooth as glass. "We're just catching up." Noah appeared from the crowd, his grin fading when he saw me. He froze mid-step, face pale. "Hello, Noah," I said coolly. "It's been forever." He forced a laugh. You've changed, man." "So have you," I replied. "Some scars just don't show." Clara grabbed his wrist subtly. "Let's not what?" I asked. "Talk about the jungle? The rain, the night you both left me to die?" Her breath hitched. "Please stop," she whispered. I leaned closer. "I already did. For 5 years." Liam returned with 2 glasses of wine, oblivious. "You 3 know each other?" Clara smiled quickly. "Old business acquaintances." "Ah," he said, handing her a glass. "Small world," I laughed softly. "Smaller than you think." He raised his glass toward me. "To new partnerships?" I met his eyes. "To old debts." He chuckled, not catching the weight in my words. The night dragged on with music and false laughter. Every time Clara looked at me, she flinched, like a sinner catching sight of the cross. Oliver leaned in. "You're enjoying this too much." "I'm just watching karma dance," I said. "Careful," he warned. "Sometimes karma bites both ways." "Then I'll bite harder," I said. Hours passed. The crowd thinned. Liam was busy talking to investors. Noah pretended not to exist. Clara slipped away to the balcony. I followed. She turned, eyes glistening under the moonlight. "Ethan, I don't even know what to say." "Then say nothing," I said. Silence suits guilt. Tears welled. "You think I wanted to leave you there? You think it was my choice?" "Choice?" I scoffed. "You walked away while I begged for help." She covered her mouth. "I thought you were dead." "We had no time." "Stop lying," I said coldly. "You had time to save the money." Her shoulders trembled. Noah panicked. "Liam," he offered protection. I didn't know what else to do. "Marrying him was a great backup plan," I said bitterly. "I was broken," she whispered. "I thought you hated me." "I did," I said, stepping closer. "Until I realized hate still means you care." "Now I feel nothing." Her tears fell silently. "Why are you here?" "To return what was owed," I said. "You buried me once." "I came back to dig the grave right." She flinched. "Ethan, please don't destroy yourself." I leaned in. Too late for that. Footsteps approached. Oliver appeared at the doorway. "Everything all right here?" "Perfect," I said, turning away. just old memories breathing again. As I walked off, my phone buzzed. A new message. From Clara Ross. We need to talk. Alone. I smiled. And so it begins. She came to me at night, the same way guilt always does. Ethan, she whispered at my office door. Please let me in. I didn't move. You already broke one door in my life. What's another? Don't be cruel, she said. I just need to talk. Cruel? I stepped aside. You don't know cruel yet. She walked in hesitantly, wrapped in a coat that couldn't hide the tremor in her hands. You've changed, she murmured. I had to, I said. You don't survive betrayal looking the same. She looked around the office, the clean lines, the trophies, the empire I'd built from ashes. You really did it, she said softly. You rebuilt yourself. Correction, I said. I replaced myself. She swallowed hard. Liam doesn't know I'm here. Of course he doesn't, I said. You never came anywhere without his permission before. Her voice cracked. He forced me to betray you, Ethan. He threatened to— Stop, I cut in. Don't insult my intelligence. I'm telling the truth, she said desperately. No, I said coldly. You're telling the version that makes you look less monstrous. She stepped closer. You think I wanted to leave you in that jungle? You think I didn't cry for you? Cry? I laughed bitterly. Maybe for the money. Maybe for how cleanly you pulled it off. Her tears came fast now. He said he'd kill you if I didn't go with him. You thought survival was easier than love, I said. You chose safety. I chose pain. Guess who turned it into power? Her voice dropped to a whisper. I see that now, and I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't erase the grave you left me in, I said quietly. She looked away, trembling. You've changed so much. I can't even recognize you. That's the point, I said. You're talking to the ghost you created. Silence stretched between us. The ticking clock felt louder than our breaths. Finally, she said, Liam isn't who you think he is. He's dangerous, I smiled. You mean a fraud, a thief? A coward hiding behind a company he built on lies? Her eyes widened. You know? Oh, I know everything, I said. You should have chosen a smarter monster, she frowned. What are you planning, Ethan? Justice, I said simply. Her voice shook. You can't go to the police. Liam has connections. I don't need the police, I said. I have evidence. Enough to burn his empire to dust. Her lips parted. Evidence? How? I've been collecting it for months, I said. Paper trails, offshore accounts, forged contracts. Every dirty secret he tried to bury, I dug it up. You're going to destroy him, she whispered. Yes, I said. And you'll watch every piece crumble. She took a step closer. And what about me? You? I smiled faintly. You'll get front row seats to your own karma, she flinched. Ethan, please, don't do this. I'm trying to make things right. You don't fix a stab wound with apologies, I said. You stop the bleeding, or you let it kill you. Her eyes filled with panic. You're not the man I loved. You never loved me, I said coldly. You loved what I gave you. She turned away, whispering, You'll regret this. I already did, I said. 5 years ago. She left without another word. Her perfume lingered, sweet, sharp, nostalgic. I hated how my heart still reacted to it. A few minutes later, my phone buzzed. Unknown number, Mr. Ross, a deep voice said. Detective Harris. We've been watching Liam Ross for a while. You said you had something for me. I have everything, I said. Files, statements, and evidence of fraud, money laundering, and false charity reports. He paused. That's a lot of dirt for a businessman to dig up. Let's just say I'm motivated. Then we should meet, he said. Tomorrow, discreetly. Name the place. He gave an address downtown. Don't be late. We move fast when justice smells blood. Justice? I said, smirking. No, detective. This is personal, he chuckled. Either way, Mr. Ross, I hope you know what you're doing. I do, I said, ending the call. For a moment, I stared out the window at the city lights, each one flickering like a promise of reckoning. The same jungle she left me in was waiting again. Only this time, I was the one setting the traps. The news hit like a physical blow. My phone buzzed and the world narrowed to one face. Liam Ross, flanked by lawyers, staring at cameras. What did you do? Oliver asked beside me. I did what I had to, I said. Justice walks slow until you speed it up. On the screen, Detective Harris said, "Charges filed against Liam Ross and associates for fraud, money laundering, and misuse of charitable funds." Noah's name scrolled beneath. Satisfaction flickered, then a chill. "Noah?" I muttered. "He's implicated," Oliver said. "Good," I said. "Let him rot." The channels replayed footage, logos taken down, donors pulling out. I wanted it to ruin everything. My phone buzzed. "Unknown number." I answered. "Ethan?" Her voice cracked. "Clara," I said. "Bad timing. Please, Ethan, help me." "I didn't know. Noah." Her sobs spilled. "You were there," I said. "You walked away?" "No," she protested. "It wasn't my choice." "Liam forced us. You ran to him," I said. "You chose safety. I'm scared." "They're taking everything." "I have nothing." "What do you expect?" I asked. "Turn my back after you left me?" "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I didn't know where to go. I thought if I kept quiet, it would go away." "It caught up with you," I said. Tears blurred her voice. "Please, Ethan, I need someone. Help me." I felt my hands crease the chair. "What should I do? Let you in like nothing happened?" "Noah threatened my family," she said. "I was afraid." "You feared for them, not my mother," I said. The words were cold. "Helen died waiting for her son. She believed the lie you fed everyone." There was a long silence. Her breath hitched. "I swear I didn't know." "You could have called," I said. "You could have told the truth." "I was trapped," she sobbed. "He made me choose." "Your choice buried her," I said. "Do you understand?" No. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "Sorry won't fix a grave," I said. "It won't stop the whispers, the looks, the empty chair at the table." She cried harder. "I'll never forgive myself." "Then live with it," I said. Feel the nights she waited. Feel the cold where she used to sit. Understand what being left behind means. "Ethan," she began. "When you're ready, don't come to me." "Go explain. Beg. Maybe they'll grant you a place to live with your shame." Silence filled the line. News anchors in the background described arrests. I pictured my mother's face, her hand waving from a window that never saw me return. "Please," she begged finally. "I can help. You can watch what you broke," I said. "You'll get front row seats," she sobbed. "Please, I can't." "You'll learn," I said. "Now you will." "Ethan," she whispered one last time. "Goodbye, Clara," I said. I ended the call. The dial tone buzzed like a small sentence. Satisfaction drained, leaving a hollow ache. Oliver watched me. "You okay?" "No," I said. "But it's done." "It's only the start," he said. "I know," I whispered, fingers pressed to my temple. Rain began outside, thin and steady. Alerts kept coming. "Liam Ross arraigned," one headline read. "Noah Bennett under investigation," another. My heart thudded in a way that felt like both victory and funeral drums. I scrolled through messages. Harris had sent a terse text. "Meet me at the station. Bring everything." I typed back, "On my way." Clara's voice came fragile. "Please, they'll destroy me." "I won't survive this." "You survived once," I said. "Now watch what survival asks of others." "I need help," she whispered. "You sold me a lie and left my mother to believe it," I said. "Helen waited for a son who never returned. That's a debt." Her breathing hitched. "I'm sorry, Ethan." "Sorry is the echo of the act," I said. "You'll feel that echo every night." "Please," she begged. "Goodbye, Clara." I ended the call and shoved the phone into my pocket. Let them learn. Rain drummed on the windows like the night everything ended. I sat in silence, the sound mixing with the hum of old memories. Then came the knock, slow, uncertain, almost afraid. I froze. Another knock. Softer this time. I opened the door. Clara stood there. Her hair clung to her face, her dress soaked through, mascara bleeding down her cheeks. For a second, the world fell away. All I saw was the girl who once laughed in my arms. "Ethan," she whispered.
"Please, I didn't speak."
The storm filled the silence between us. She swallowed hard. "I have nowhere else to go." "Liam?" I asked. "Gone," she said. "Everything gone. The house, the money, even my name. Reporters camped outside, investors pulled out. I'm nothing." "Nothing?" I echoed quietly. "You made me that once," her eyes filled. "I deserve that." "You deserve the truth," I said. "And you already got it." She took a trembling step closer. I don't want forgiveness. I just need somewhere to breathe. I stared at her dripping hands. You think I can give you that? No, she said, but you're the only person who might understand what it's like to lose everything. I almost laughed. Understand? Clara, I lived it, she nodded slowly. I know. I see it every time I close my eyes. Then why come here? I asked, to ask for absolution. No, she said, her voice cracking. To ask if there's anything human left in me. I leaned against the door frame. That's not my answer to give. Rain pattered on the porch between us. Her eyes searched mine. Do you ever stop hearing it? The sound of your own choices breaking you? I took a breath. No, you just learned to live with the echoes, she bit her lip. I tried to live right after you, after everything. But every charity, every speech, it was all noise. I kept seeing you in the crowd. I wasn't there, I said. You built ghosts. I built guilt, she whispered. And it never left. Now it has company, I said. The world finally saw who you followed. Her shoulders shook. I'm not asking for comfort. I'm asking for direction. Direction? I repeated. You walked mine once. It led to hell. She looked down. Then maybe I need to start there. The air thickened. Lightning flashed behind her, painting her in brief white light. For a second, she looked like the girl who kissed me under a half-built roof years ago. But that image died fast. I have nothing left, she said. Please, help me. Her voice cracked on the last word. And I almost reached out. Almost. But the man she loved died long before tonight. Clara, I said quietly. Down the road, there's a clinic. Ava runs it. She helps the lost, she blinked. You're sending me away? I'm letting you walk, I said. It's more than you gave me. Tears cut through the rain on her cheeks. You hate me. No, I said. Hate kept me alive once. Now it's just noise. Then what is this? She whispered. Peace, I said. The kind that comes after the storm. She stood still, rain dripping from her fingertips. I thought maybe if you saw me... I see you, I interrupted softly. And that's enough. She took a shuddering breath. Will you ever forgive me? I met her eyes. I already did. That's why I'm not opening the door, her lips trembled. I don't know where to go. You'll figure it out, I said. You always did when it was convenient. That hurt her. I saw it in the way her shoulders sank, the fight leaving her body. Goodbye, Ethan, she whispered. Goodbye, Clara. She turned away, the rain swallowing her silhouette. For a moment, I wanted to call her back, to ask why, to ask if anything we had was ever real. But the answer lived in the silence she left behind. I closed the door slowly. The sound echoed like a full stop at the end of a long sentence. For the first time in years, the quiet didn't hurt. Rain slid down the glass, tracing crooked paths that vanished into the dark. I watched her figure fade beneath the storm, her shadow dissolving into the same kind of night that once swallowed me whole. For a long moment, I just sat there, listening. Thunder rolled in the distance, low and tired, like an echo of something ancient and unfinished. It sounded like the jungle, like the past. Like me, my phone buzzed. Ava's name lit the screen. I hesitated, then answered. Yeah, her voice was soft. You did the right thing. I looked out again. The rain hit harder. Doesn't feel like it. It never does, she said. Not when you finally stop fighting ghosts. I exhaled slowly. She looked lost. She's been lost for a long time, Ava replied. You just stopped following her into the dark. I could have helped, I said quietly. But I didn't. She didn't want help, Ava said. She wanted to borrow your guilt. I rubbed my forehead. Maybe I still have some to spare. You've paid enough, she murmured. Don't keep spending what's left of you on her. I let the words sit there. Outside, lightning flashed over the empty road, turning the puddles into brief mirrors. I could almost see my reflection in them, older, quieter, still scarred, but standing. She said she had nothing left, I said. And for a second, I believed her. You wanted to, Ava said gently. Because you remember the version of her that smiled before everything broke. Yeah, I whispered. That version died in the jungle. So did the man she left there, Ava said. You just never buried him until tonight. I leaned back in my chair. Maybe that's what this was. A funeral. For who? She asked. For Ethan Cole, I said. For the man who thought love was unbreakable. And who are you now? I looked at the door, still wet from the rain she'd stood under. Someone who finally closed it. Ava was silent for a moment. Then she said, "Do you remember what you told me when I found you in that forest?" I frowned. Barely. I was half dead. You said, "If I live, I'll never forgive them." I laughed under my breath. Sounds like me. And now? She asked. I lived, I said, and I forgave. Just not for them. For me? That's healing, Ethan, she said. That's what surviving really means. I smiled faintly. You sound like a doctor. I am one, she teased. Remember? Right, I said, my voice lighter. But you were always more of a compass than a healer. Maybe, she said. But even a compass needs someone willing to walk. I stared at the rain again. I walked through hell and came back with both feet, she said. Not everyone does. For a moment, neither of us spoke. The rain softened. Somewhere far off, thunder sighed instead of roared. I thought revenge would feel like freedom, I said finally. It never does, Ava replied. It just trades one chain for another. I let her go, I said quietly. I know, she said. That's why I called. I could feel it. You always do, I murmured. Even from miles away. I worry about you, she admitted. You hide behind calm like it's armor. Maybe it is, I said. But tonight it finally fits. She chuckled softly. You're not the same man I met in that cot, bleeding and silent. No, I said. That man was waiting to die. This one finally learned how to live. The line went quiet for a while. I could hear her breathing steady and sure. It reminded me that not all storms destroy, some wash things clean. What now? Ava asked. Now? I said, watching the rain ease to a drizzle. Now I stop surviving and start living. You sound sure. I am, I said. Because the jungle didn't just take something from me. It taught me how to survive myself. Ava exhaled softly. Then this is the real ending. Maybe, I said. Or maybe it's just the first quiet chapter. Good night, Ethan. Good night, Ava. I ended the call. The house was silent except for the rain's fading whispers. I stood and opened the window. The air smelled like earth and forgiveness, and for the first time in years, I didn't feel the storm inside me. The evening was quiet when the news broke. The TV flickered in the corner, the reporter's voice steady and cold. Businessman Liam Ross was found dead in his home earlier today. Sources confirm suicide. His wife, Clara Ross, has been taken into custody for aiding in the concealment of financial evidence. Noah Lane remains missing. I didn't move. I just stared at the screen until the words blurred into static. Liam, Clara, Noah. The names that once haunted every heartbeat now sounded like echoes fading down a long, empty hallway. My phone buzzed. Oliver's voice came through, excited. Ethan, did you see it? They're done. All of them. It's over. Yeah, I said quietly. It's over, he hesitated. You don't sound happy. Because this isn't happiness, I replied. It's silence. Still, he said, they finally got what they deserved. Maybe, I said. But karma doesn't bring anyone back, Oliver sighed. You're a strange man, Ethan Ross. Maybe that's what survival does, I said. Turns people strange, he chuckled softly. You should come by the office tomorrow. We'll celebrate. I'll think about it, I said. Thanks, Oliver. After the call, I sat there in the dim light, listening to the soft hum of the rain outside. It was always the rain, my oldest witness, my quietest companion. The doorbell rang. I froze for a second before getting up. When I opened it, Ava stood there holding an umbrella, her smile calm and knowing. Evening, she said. You walk through rain like it's your friend, I said. It reminds me of you, she replied. You both keep surviving, I smiled faintly. You heard the news. I did, she said, stepping inside. I thought you'd want company. I don't know what I want, I admitted. For years I lived for this moment, and now that it's here. You feel empty, she finished. I nodded. Like the storm finally stopped, but I forgot how to live without the sound of thunder. She set the umbrella aside. You've been fighting ghosts for 5 years. You don't need to anymore, I looked at her. What if that's all I know how to do? Then learn something new, she said softly. Start with peace. I laughed under my breath. Peace sounds too quiet. That's because you've mistaken noise for meaning, she said. Peace isn't silence. It's choosing who you let into the quiet. Her words hung in the air, warm against the cold stillness. I sat down, gesturing for her to join me. You always know what to say. No, she said, sitting across from me. I just know what pain looks like when it's tired. I looked at my hands, scarred, steady, alive. You know, the jungle taught me something. What's that? That you can lose everything and still find your way out, I said. But you have to stop digging graves for people who left you there. Ava smiled. Then stop digging, I met her eyes. I think I just did. She leaned forward slightly. Ethan, what do you feel right now? I thought for a long moment. Free, not happy yet, not sad. Just free, she nodded. That's the first step. To what? I asked. To living again, she said. I let out a breath I didn't know I'd been holding. I used to dream of revenge. Now I dream of quiet mornings. You'll have them, Ava said gently. You earned them, I smiled faintly. You sound sure. I am, she said. Because you didn't win by destroying them, Ethan. You won by surviving them. Her words hit deeper than she knew. I looked toward the window. The rain had slowed, just a soft drizzle now, like the world itself was finally at peace. Do you ever think the jungle was fate? I asked. Maybe, she said. Sometimes life buries us just to see if we can grow back. I turned to her. You think I did? She smiled softly. You didn't just grow back. You came home. For a moment, I didn't say anything. Then quietly, I stood and walked to the door. I opened it wide, letting the cool night air drift in. The jungle once buried me in pain, I said, glancing back at her. But life brought me back to my door, and this time I opened it for the right person. Ava looked at me, eyes bright under the soft glow. Then let's not close it anymore. I nodded, smiling for real this time. Not tonight. Outside, the rain finally stopped. The air smelled clean. The ghosts were gone, and for the first time I wasn't surviving. I was living.